Alright, so how to beat Madolches. One of my subscribers requested it, so of course I have to do it. No choice. But I appreciate it. You know, I mean, that's the idea. You know, you have a problem. I have no problem helping you with a solution. That's what this channel is about: is sharing information. And how to beat series, as it were, is for that purpose, is to give my insights. You know what I mean? I have 10 plus years of playing this game. I study it like if I was the Professor Oak of Yugioh, if you want to say, right? I'm working on the real life Duel disc. Still working on that project, having some setbacks on it, mainly because of money. Don't have the money to further the development, so that's what's holding me back on that. So can I say I'm like a real life Kaiba? Some people have said it, so that's why I'm saying it. But anyway, this is about how to beat the Madolches. When I saw the comment, I was like, Madolche is one of those decks that I do have a slight problem beating. It's not that I don't beat them. It's just they're a little bit harder to beat than most other decks. Because think about it, if I use Regeki Break to destroy one of their Madolches, what's gonna happen? If they have the field spell, it's just gonna go right back to their hand. And if they have ticket, they're just gonna rota. They're gonna get a +1. So I kind of don't win in that, right? I neg my opponent pluses, so it makes it a little bit harder. But you know, a challenge is what I like. It's part of what I like about Yu-Gi-Oh. You know, I don't want it to be easy. You know, because I'll be a noob if I want shit to be easy, right? I can't consider myself a skillful player, you know, if, you know, everything was easy. So, to beat the Madolches. The thing about Madolches is we know that they have the ability to pretty much just infinitely recycle their effects, recycle their monsters. They're able to +1, you know, they're able to rota whatever they want through the effect of ticket, right? The field spell allows them to recycle. The field spell also gives them attack and defense. Then of course you got the power of Tiramisu, which doesn't destroy, and the whole ability to send 2 cards on your opponent's side of the field back into their decks is a lot more dangerous. So I'm definitely a big fan of the Madolche deck. Archetype, I have a deck. I'm still working on it because I changed the version that I'm playing because obviously Angeli is a thing. So since I wanted to upgrade to the Angeli version, that means I also need Hoop Cake, Angeli, and I would need Messenger in order to play the OTK version. So now they have infinite, you know, OTK basically. They have a way of constantly doing an OTK because with Chateau and Ticket, they're able to recycle everything and then just get all the combo pieces they need to OTK. So that's what makes it hard to beat them. But this video is about how to beat them to the best of my ability. So one way obviously is you don't want them to have their Chateau and tickets, so you gotta get rid of this. You know what I mean? You don't want them to have their Chateau and tickets. So you know, you can use the MST that's in your deck. If you have Regeki Break, use it. You have Dust Tornado, use it. You know, Twister, so on and so on. I started to think, I was talking to Pageman and one of my friends, and I was thinking, like, we were talking about this series, you know, how to beat decks, and I pointed out that, you know, I was supposed to do this Madolche, how to beat the Madolche video, and we were talking about, you know, what makes the Madolches, you know, strong, and, you know, different ideas on how to beat them. And he did point out a card that I forgot which card he said is good against them, which I agree was a good card that he mentioned. But I mentioned Skill Drain, and, you know, he agrees, like, yeah, you know, a lot of their effects are on the field, so yeah, Skill Drain definitely will work against them. Just permanently getting rid of them with, like, Karma Cut, of course. But he mentioned Spell Shadowing. I mentioned Spell Shadow Arrow, actually. He just gave me the inspiration to remember that card. because I think he mentioned something about Fire Fist and getting rid of, multiple stuff, and I was like, oh yeah, since the real, like the main issue is you don't want them to have the chateau and the ticket, then it makes sense to not waste an MST trying to decide which one to get rid of. Because one of the problems is you don't want them to have chateau and ticket, right? You definitely don't want them to have that. That's what gives them the infinite capabilities of plussing and, looping and shit, right? They pretty much never lose hand advantage with those two cards on the field, so you gotta get rid of them. And Heavy Storm is gone, right? So how are we supposed to get rid of them at the same time? One MST is not enough. You're gonna have to draw two MSTs. You know what I mean? That makes it a little bit problematic. So you're wasting resources, as it were. And then your opponent has face down traps that you didn't get rid of because you were more focused on getting rid of the ticket and the chateau, using up your MSTs, right? So now it's like, well, why waste multiple cards on getting rid of multiple cards when you can use one card, get rid of multiple cards? Plus, you get the add-on ability of dealing the extra 500 damage, which can be a game changer. You could probably just win right off just by using Spell Shattering Arrow itself. So that's a card to take into consideration. It's like, yeah, Spell Shattering Arrow. You can side it in if you want. You can main it. Think about it. I mean, there are Fire Fist decks out there. There are other decks that do have, field spells and continuous spells that they use. So that's something to take into consideration. And Spell Shattering Arrow is pretty good for getting rid of multiple stuff. It's good against, to a certain degree, of course. It's good against, what is they called? The Noble Knights, because they're equipped card. But obviously I'll mention that later in the How to Beat Noble Knight video that I might end up getting around to. So right now it's like Spell Shattering Arrow will be great for getting rid of the Chateau and ticket. So that way you can use your MSTs to get rid of the face down bomb, Mirror Force, and all that other stuff, right? Veiler, if your opponent went first, you want to prevent him from setting up and getting pluses and stuff like that in his first turn. So Veiler comes in handy. He goes first turn, he summons Meowful, you Veiler it, bang, now he won't be able to, summon Angeli. Or let's say he summons Angeli, Veiler it, bang, you don't have to worry about him, using Angeli to bring out Hook Cake, and Hook Cake can't be destroyed by battle, so he'll still be there until next turn. Then Hook Cake's effect, you'll banish Angeli, get Hook Cake's effect, get missing on, derpy. It's the whole ability to set up the OTKs, set up combos and stuff. You want to slow it down, prevent it. Enemy controller, just to take it from them. Book of Moon, Book of Eclipse, stuff like that helps. Especially if your opponent does Angeli, right, and then brings out Hook Cake or anything. It just even an Angeli into an Angeli, right, and then can't be destroyed by battle. All right, so then you just enemy control. Trigger one of your monsters, enemy control, take the monster, and then overlay. Or you could switch the monster into attack since they can't die by battle. Maybe you have a monster that can attack multiple times or something, and you just attack the Angeli or whatever monster was brought out with Angeli's effect and attacked it multiple times. Pretty much OTK right there and then. Of course, you can use stuff like creature swap. Of course, slow your opponent down. I don't have it listed here, but you could think of tons of different ways you could potentially disrupt them. I'm just giving you a thought, an outline of like, all right, you gotta take away their ability to do something. It's all about interrupting. They play this field spell, chain MST. What I mean, simple stuff like that. Regaki break, so forth and so forth. Slow them down the best you can, so that way you could perform. Now, since they have OTK, they've been had it if you use Instant Fusion, Gene Warwolf, and all that other stuff. Not Gene Warwolf, TG Warwolf. Obviously, they had the ability OTK before, but now they got it a little more consistent because now you just, boom, Angeli right into OTK. So that's just spam, right? So since they have the ability OTK, and if you don't have the Veiler, hopefully you have the Battle Fader, the Swift Scarecrow, in my case, Red Screen, even Book of Eclipse, to help reduce the potentialness of getting OTK, because that's the thing, they can OTK and pretty consistently because they have more than enough ways to rota you know what I mean, to plus what they need to get the combo pieces. So they're consistent with that. So then you gotta make sure you prevent them from OTKing you, and then you'll make a comeback. So you'll use, for example, you use Battle Fader to prevent them from OTKing you, right? Then on your turn, you could play Dark Hole, or like what I prefer, Lightning V, because you can run 3, so you have a better chance of actually drawing it when you're going up against Madolches. You can use other stuff like, you know, obviously Torrential, Needle Sealing, so forth and so forth. I'm just giving some ideas, because if your opponent goes off first turn and sets up a pretty nice field, Needle Sealing is not that big of a deal, nor is Torrential, because your opponent already set up his field. Here he has, you know, a nice little field set up, so you don't want to set a card in your turn, then it's his turn, and then, you know, he could MST your Torrential before he even summons more monsters, so it kind of defeats the purpose, right? So that's why I prefer to show stuff like use Lightning Vortex, Dark Hole, since they can be played during your turn, and then you can try go off. You could try OTK your opponent and beat him before he even gets a chance to, you know, use all the cards he just plus back to his hand. Another thing you could do is you could combo, obviously, MST with Dark Hole. The obvious combo will be you MST the Chateau, because that's what will prevent him from adding the Madolche you Dark Hole back to his hand, or Lightning V back to his hand. Then, you know, like I said, play Dark Hole or Lightning V and have the Madolche go back in his deck. By going back in the deck, it will slow down their ability to draw other stuff like their spells and traps, because now you just threw the monsters back in the deck. So that's going to prevent them from getting what they want. Because remember, they have the ability to plus. You know what I mean? With Ticket, they're adding to their hands. With Madolche, they're adding to that. They're thinning out their deck of monsters, so that way they can get to their spells and traps. That way they could always have back row when they need it. You want to interrupt that as well. You want to be like, nope, I don't want you getting your traps, your warnings and stuff. I want to throw all your monsters right back in your deck. So getting rid of the field spell and then getting rid of the monsters so they go right back in the deck is very useful. You can use obviously stuff like Wing Blast to throw the monsters back on top of the deck to slow them down from being able to get to their spells and traps, which usually